Hi friends, in this video, I want to introduce you to the 3 doshas of Ayurveda and the elements. Now, why do we want to learn about this information? Well, as human beings, we want to understand how we can feel our best, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the framework of the doshas gives us an amazing tool to help us learn how to be in balance, whatever the external or internal circumstances are. So the 3 doshas are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And I'm going to break them down using the elements. But first, what are the doshas? Essentially, the doshas are a framework for understanding certain patterns that we have in nature, in the world, and in ourselves. And you can see the doshas, you can see these patterns in all kinds of places. You see them in the climate, a cold climate versus a hot, humid climate versus a hot, dry climate. The seasons. Spring is different from summer, is different from the winter time. We see patterns of the doshas in the time of day, in the age of a person, youth, adulthood, golden years. We see the doshas in personalities, in body types, in the food that you eat, in all kinds of things, and especially in imbalances, symptoms of imbalance, whether that be physical symptoms or mental health symptoms. And I've created this, what I call the dosha onion, to just give you a simplified way of understanding how these patterns act on you. So you have yourself, your own doshas as your body type and your personality. And you are also feeling the influence of your life situation, what's going on in your life, of your cultural background, of having privilege or not having privilege. You also feel the doshas in your age, in whether you're a kid or an adult or in your later years. You experience dosha qualities in life events like menstruation or menopause. And the seasons, the doshas of the seasons affect you. You feel the influence of winter. You feel different in winter than you do in summer. It's all very practical. And same in the climate. You'll feel different in the desert versus Antarctica. So let's take a closer look at what the doshas are. And I like to use the elements to understand them because they're really something that we can relate to viscerally. So the Kapha dosha, it is made up of the elements earth and water here. So if you think about what does this actually mean? I like to think about this picture here. If you're from a place where you get snow, like me in Alaska, Kapha season, it's the spring season, and the earth, it's when we've got earth and water. So snow is melting. We're starting to get a lot of breakup, a lot of puddles. The moist dirt and mud is starting to show. You get that smell of, for better or worse, of mud and dog poo, and things start to grow. Things start to shoot out little green buds. And this really captures the energy of Kapha. We've got new beginnings. This is youth, childhood, rapid growth and blossoming. This is spring. There's also this excess water, excess heaviness sometimes, thinking about dense mud and water, earth and water. The next dosha is the Pitta Dosha, which it consists of the elements fire and water. So mostly fire. The Pitta Dosha is primarily fire and just a little bit of water. and it's associated with the summertime. So summertime is the Pitta time of year. Adulthood, it's a time of productivity, activity, transformation. Think about fire transforming wood into ash, right? So Pitta has this incredible ability to transform things and get it done. Vata, the third and final dosha, consists of the elements air and ether. Air, you can think about like in the sky, the wind, oftentimes, like you can have a slow breeze or a hurricane, that's all Vata. And ether, if you imagine you are in the atmosphere of the earth and you're in that air, like in the air, in the wind, but you keep moving up, 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 higher and higher, the atmosphere starts to thin out until eventually you kind of get to a place of nothingness. This is ether. And Vata is associated with winter. So in the time of life, it says the later time of life where you're transitioning from adulthood into less productivity and more contemplation and spirituality and connection to kind of this more ethereal plane. Cold is also a characteristic of Vata, cold and dry. And oftentimes kind of like disconnected to thinking about that ether, like so far from the earth. So to sum it up, take a look here. We've got Kapha dosha, earth and water. This is the heavier dosha. Pitta, fire and water. This is all about transforming. And Vata, air and ether, very light, in the clouds. So this is a look at the 3 doshas and the 5 elements. And just to give you an understanding of this framework, the next important thing to do is to then apply this to yourself. Like how can this be useful for me to understand myself? And I will do that in a video specifically for that.